Hi all. Right, next Allied Impulse. Well, I did mention that I might just be deploying the 5th Corps armour units, but I don't think I am. Looking down here now, and I think we're noticing that whole army thing, and the fact I just drew the 3rd army card as well. I'll maybe try and take even a wee bit more advantage of that. Now, so I'm thinking about playing the 3rd Corps, activate the 3rd Corps. Again, still not repairing any units. Uh, maybe one day. I mean, maybe that's what the army card should come in for, and these should be doing the repairing. I mean, I do have 2 bracketed units there. Why not consider this one, Grant? I mean, they're okay. And I've got the cavalry unit in R1, but I could repair the 2 infantry units. What I was going to do was make an attack on this guy, probably bring the armour into here, bring the infantry, well, some of it into here, but I was going to chuck a unit on the top of that with that intent of then being able to use that 3rd army card in a future impulse to bring them into the game, you know. Also the unit, I mean, okay, we might not do anything with that, but the 3rd army unit, 3rd Corps unit that's in R1's on top of a 12 Corps cavalry unit as well, so again that would activate both of them with the 3rd army card. But I could use this card, replace these 2 points, then use the 3rd army card to activate the 3rd Corps, and then they'd be at full strength and come down. That doesn't sound like the fun way to do it, does it? It sounds more fun to do it like, let's just get in there now and I don't know. I suppose the other thing, I do need to keep an eye on Bastogne. I kind of forgotten all about it, really. It's not really threatened. We've got a 47 Corps infantry unit, but it's tied into holding in at St Hubert there. And then the nearest other unit is, just off camera, is in Houffley's here. He just moved down there, but I mean, he's not got the range to reach Bastogne. There's this guy here in Wilts, but again, he's only infantry. He can't. Not got the range, so there's nothing particularly to worry about. It would be nice to come down and try and sort these 2 units out, because my thinking is, obviously, if I do go for this activation, come down, attack here, with a bit of luck, eliminate this guy. He's only 1 step. To be honest, he's going to be surrounded. Then, when I get the chance to play that 3rd army card, I'm going to be able to grab these guys too, come down, and maybe have a go at this guy. And then that's everything freed up here, and then we can move a little bit more east, because the 80 and the 85th Corps units are going to eventually start moving. So I'm not saying we're trying to push east to take anything, but at least get defensively set up or better. I mean, yeah, it'd just be nice to get rid of the 2 guys, I think. So, what are you going to do, Grant? Yeah, I can't resist this. So I'm going to activate 3rd Corps, and yeah, I don't think there's any messing about. The armoured units are going to come in here. Now, does it matter how we do this? Probably not. What I'll do is I'll move this bracket, the infantry unit, 1, 2, 3. Another plus to that is we're getting flanking as well, so. And then move these 2 infantry units, 1, 2. The cavalry unit in R1, I'm just going to leave B. So, okay, so going to make an attack here. And yeah, I suppose that's going to be overkill. He's only 1 step. We only need a D1 result here. So I don't think you should chuck. Well, I was going to chuck my core artillery in, which felt like it made sense because we've still got 2 cards in our draw pile. We're going to play 2 cards here in total. Draw 2 out of the 3. Maybe get the. Well, it then doesn't matter. At least we're getting to. Well, right, that's not really making any sense, Grant. What I mean is, just now it'll shuffle back in. If I left it till the next impulse, well, if I didn't play the core artillery, I suppose I was thinking about playing air power, but is it really needed? What have we got here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, we've got 6 units, but 2 of them are bracketed, so 2 of them are not going to draw chip pools. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 for elites, 5. So without any cards, we're. Well, I've not actually counted the odds, have I? Usually, that's the better thing to start with, Grant, isn't it? So that's 10, 13, 15, 17 to 2. 17 to 2 is 8 to 1, This makes you wonder if you need a card here at all. 8 to 1, and like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4 units that are applicable chip pools, 1 for elites, 5 chip pools. And like I've said, we only need D1. I suppose it was just chucking the core artillery and thinking it's going to come back to us, which makes some kind of sense, I think. I suppose if I don't play the core artillery, I'm only drawing 1 card out of the last 2. And then the next turn, I could play it. Yeah, because I'm going to draw 1. I'll have 1 card in my draw pile. So my next impulse, I'll have 1 card in the draw pile. I could play it then. That means that the reserves are going to have to wait another turn, I think. However, I do then have the British Corps to do that old funky 21st Army group card. But see, if I do that, I might want to chuck in air power as well. Yeah, I might want to add more combat tactics to that. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. That's probably going to be the last use of it. 8 to 1 odds, 5 chip pools, Grant. Yeah, because if I use it next turn, it'll still shuffle in. There'll be 1 card left. Yeah, I shouldn't use it. I mean, they are getting to draw a combat tactic here as well. They won't get a defender. They're all surrounded, but... Well, he's surrounded. But there's potential. I mean, they draw artillery, then that's just a random draw of the chip, depending on what side it's on. 8 to 1 odds, 5 chip pools. I need a D1. No, let's just go with that. That seems more than enough. What can go wrong? Right. Oops. Sorry. Okay, so let's draw. German combat tactics. Right, here we go. Assault coordination. That'll do it. That'll always do when they're on the defense. What else was it doing? Some of the first SS infantry. Oh, it's another card away anyway. Okay, so we have, there's only one minimum of 1 chip pool, isn't there? Maximum of 5. We've got elites, we've got armour. The only thing he's got going for him is he's in the woods. That's probably about it. So, okay, we'll draw the 1. If we've got a D1, we can just stop there. Excellent, perfect. I just had to stop myself there just with the thought. I think we're okay, but yeah, we are okay in fact. These units have moved down. They need to be able to trace supply when they move to here. But I can just trace into this hex. I'm on this road. Yeah, it is fine. That is fine, yeah. I know these were, at one point they were struggling to trace supply, but I think we've got them tidied up. Right, okay, let's get this 1 chip. Let's get this 1 D1. Well, it would have been a D1 if I'd played the artillery. I hope this isn't going. I'm not going to regret this now, am I? Right, okay, I'll get the other 4 then. Okay, all good. We drew 2 artillery chits too. This was defender adjacent. This person supplied on the other side, but he's not got defender adjacent. This was 9-1 in the front, but we got this. This was our second chip pool, attacker elite, and with no green units attacking. So all good. D2 result. He has to retreat. He can only retreat into this hex where he has to take a step loss. So he's gone. Excellent. I'll have to try and make more space and eliminate unit spots for the Germans now. We're racking up a few kills. Okay, I'll tidy everyone up there and see about our advance. Yeah, I think it makes sense moving these armour units because they can go into here and then they can advance a second hex into there, and then we've got that guy surrounded. So at the moment this guy's got an out, but if I do that, so advance 1 and then a second advance, it's not breaking. I mean, there's no path of retreat, but I'm not going from zone of control to zone of control. I'm not crossing a river. I'm not entering a forest not via a road. I think we probably advance infantry too. I'll just that little bit wary of Bastogne, I suppose. Yeah, it's not as if the Germans can. They've not got any more units that they can do. I'm saying they've not. Hang on a minute. Because that 9th Panzer Army, they all have a division card, which might deploy them. Is that right, or does that not happen at all? Am I talking rubbish here? Yeah, no, yeah. I'm wondering what it is. If I draw that 9th Panzer card, I believe it might just be a division card with only that division on the card. And if they're not on the board, then I have to deploy them. So I suppose that could be a concern. Then again, they can't deploy into Bastogne anyway. I'm just looking, I mean, this unit here, 1, 2, you know, if they had to be within 3 of that unit, it'd be a scary place for 3 armoured units to appear. I was just looking at something. Yeah, I'm not going to be concerned about that, as long as I've got something that can reach Bastogne. I've not used my any 1 unit move this day yet as well, so there is that as a backup. Yeah, I was just wondering. I can't. This is a full stack. It's just going back to that whole stacking these units up, where now that I've realised how I should have been playing the game, maybe I could have advanced these guys into here, and if there had been a space into there, that could have been a second advance. However, why not move? I know this unit's just bracketed, but why not advance the second X with this guy into here, and then we can pick him up as well. Which, okay, it's maybe not. It's an extra 2 strength. He's not a chip pull or draw though, so I think it still makes sense. We're still adjacent to this. We've still got this trapped, and yeah, why not? So obviously I don't want to move that infantry unit out there because he's going to be able to bring the units into it, but yeah, I'll just move these guys in. Like I say, I'm still only 2 away from Bastogne. You know, it should be fine, he said. Okay, I think that's it, isn't it? The only unit we didn't do anything was an R1, so can't build an IP. Yeah, that is it. We've got 6 cards in hand, so we're going to draw that one more card, and then, like I say, if I do what I'm going to do the next impulse, use the artillery, then it'll still shuffle in. Okay, so we're going to draw 7 core. Okay, I've got the 7 core card in my hand. Wow, this has been a really strong day for our cards, isn't it? Man, I know 7 core. Well, our armoured guys got slaughtered. But we've got... That's us got the primary and the supplemental 7 core card. And the supplemental one has a reinforced battle on it as well, which is something to be considered if I didn't feel the need to be wanting to activate them twice. I think I do want to get an activation on them to give it a go on this guy with these. The other thing, if I was activating them twice, the first activation could remove that disperse marker, because that's a 7 core unit as well. I know it's in low supply as well, which isn't great, but yeah, anyway. Okay. Right, so we've got 7 cards in hand, 1 more card in the draw pile, but like I say, the plan is for the next impulse to use that artillery once more, so it does mean that the 5th armour units will be hanging about for a little bit, and the reserve units box still. Okay, I'll tidy the chits up. I'll just cut it there, but I think I'm still coming back for 1 more German impulse before I maybe call it a night. Okay, right, I'll be back soon, guys. Cheers. Hi all. Right, let's 1 more German impulse of the day. I'm getting quite a lot in there now. So let's keep going. Damn, another division card with not a 24th, 23rd, 26th and 28th. However, that is the Führer Brigade and the 26th VG. I think they've got... Looks like there's only a couple of units left of them. 47th, of course, we've still not got the 9th Panzer units. Right, and we get the 2nd SS, right, okay, that's a bit more worrying. So that'll go in the command card slot. This is a support card, there's no event. It's got reinforced battle. We're going to activate 2nd SS, and as you can see, there's still... I think we did deploy one last time, didn't we? I think there's 4 units in the reserve units box, so... Okay, probably a bit more involved this time. I was saying that if there's 4 units already in the... I think they only have... How many units do they have? Maybe 9 or so. Anyway, okay. Well, I'll go and have a look, see where they are. Yeah, I might be being a bit generous saying there was 9 of them, but there is one. There's one in Liège in low supply, which can't really move. There's 2 here. There's one from the 2nd SS, and that one's not got a division. And then there's, in the reserve unit spots, we've got the 3 9th SS units and one of the 2nd SS. So I'm assuming that unit up there must be 2nd SS. Yes, it is. Okay, that means 3, 6, 7. There must be 7 units in total. Okay. So there's really only these 2 that we're going to be able to do anything with. Because the low supply unit, so it can't move at all. So okay. Right, well we're still going to activate the core then, so we'll just need to see what they do, and you never know, they might involve the reserves. Ooh, right, I've just realised they're right adjacent to these 2nd armoured units, aren't they? That are now just 2 single step units. Reinforced battle in the support cab was almost just as well. It wasn't assault coordination. Or that would have been, I think, game over for the guys. Because I'd like to be able to, mind you, I'm talking about next turn about activating the British again, which means that they have to leave the guys. Well, maybe why not use the core artillery if I get the chance, if these guys still are alive, and maybe have a go at this, just to try and break out. Because I'm just going to get smashed up in there, I'm gonna. Okay, no roadblocks. There are army objective markers in here, isn't it? 6 Panzer Army. So let's see what they're going to do. Yeah, these guys aren't moving. I did think, oh, what about an infiltration move in here? But it needs to be closer to his army objective as well. So neither of them can do that either. Can't move via arrows, can't get closer to army objective, can't infiltrate like I've just said, and they're already adjacent to an allied unit, so that's going to be that. So now the reserves, well I suppose we've got to look at that possibility of placing eligible reserves on German detachment markers. I think we looked at this recently though, didn't we? No, because I remember looking at this and we were saying that German supplies got to be traceable from the detachment as well. Allied units got to be proximate. But that's got me thinking there. I've been thinking that all along, that proximate to a detachment is actually into the hex, which Don Brown's just pointed out to me that's not the case. So hopefully I've not messed too much of that up in the past. I mean, this is one of these ones, well, along with, you've got that movement method, haven't you? And then you've got this. They both talk about allied units that are proximate to detachments. I think that does that. Is that the movement method? Yeah, because that's the one I was talking about, and that's the one John mentioned. So it's not something that happens very often, but I've always been taking it that proximate to a detachment means actually entering the hex, and that's not the case, because you can't do that. And like John's pointing me to the, if you just look in the rules about proximate, it tells you adjacent to the detachment. So well actually, hold on then. That does mean that he's proximate to that. I mean, okay, he can't go through, or is he? Well, there you go. No, he wouldn't be, would he? Because as soon as he goes 1-2, breaking the zone of control, he's got to stop adjacent to that detachment. So he can't go 1-2-3. So you've got to take that into consideration too. I mean, proximate does mean that you do have to look at, certain terrain that you're moving through, movement point. You've got to have the movement points to do it, and you've got to, again, if there was a roadblock, it'd be the same. Yeah, but it does make me wonder if I've maybe missed any of that in the past. That's why now realising that I've been looking at that in the wrong way. But yeah, so I think it's right. It's just the fact that hex can trace German supply. If a unit was to come in there, German supply could be traced, and that's what that rule's looking for. Well, it's looking for, it's in the reserve units army, so yes, that would be a 6 Panzer army detachment, shall we say. It's not adjacent to a non-bracketed German unit. Oh, okay. Well, I remember mentioning that as well. Okay. Right, it's not even near applicable. Right, I don't think there's any. I think these things would probably jump out at you, and you would see them right away. I think I get the feeling that it's one of the ones that you would notice right away. Okay, let's just move on past that then, Grant. So we're going to check for the combat possibility, and what are we doing here? 9.5, right? So it's just, you can only check here. So we've got 7 strength, and he is 6, isn't he? 6. So it's 7 against 6. Now there's no assault coordination to consider. 7 against 6. Now, does he get any bonuses? No. He's not adjacent to a supply. This is a low supply. So it's a straightforward 76. However, what reserve? Oh, we can't get any, can we? Oh, I'm saying we. They can't get any. Hooray! I should be like that, shouldn't I? I guess I'm just. I don't like playing 2-player games. Try to play them solitaire, like play one side and play the other. I don't like. That's why I like this game. But I suppose when you go to make the moves for the AI, you kind of feel like you're involved somehow. Okay, so yeah, there's 3 units in here and there's 3 units in there, and I'm pretty sure that again these are the only 2 hexes. And although I said this hex we could trace supply, we cannot trace reserve supply from it. So there's not going to be any reserves that can be considered. So it is just going to be straight up 1-to-1. Yeah. So it's 1-to-1. However, they are going to get... No, we've got Defenders Elite as well though. So that's not going to happen. It's not an army card, but the support card's Reinforced Battle, and that'll happen because there's a unit in there, and there's plenty of units round about that could reinforce the battle. So there's a -1 to that, but it is just 1-to-1 odds from 1 hex, so it's probably unlikely. Right, I can't see that at all. I think it needs to be a 1, to be honest. Right, you're probably not going to see it. I'm probably going to see it before you. Oh, yeah, no, I've turned the box. Oh, look at that, it's a 1. Oh, I didn't want that at all. I did not want that, because they're going to reinforce the battle. And they're getting to draw another card. So there's a chance of an assault coordination, which is going to be even worse. Oh dear, yeah. So it's a 1 with a -1, so attack proceeds. Oh dear. Right. Okay, so this isn't good. I'm starting to think that having 2 7-core cards in my hand might be a wasted cards in my hand, to be honest. There's a good chance these guys are. There's a good chance they're going to get eliminated, to be honest. They've not got an out hex, you know. They're only 2 steps. We need to get lucky. Okay, so combat's going ahead. Right, well. Right, well, let's draw a card. Now. Oh, what am I thinking about here? No. I'm drawing a German combat tactic, am I? Right, combat's going ahead. Yeah, combat tactic. Right, let's see. We don't want assault coordination anyway. Fixed artillery. That'll probably do. Because, yeah, they're far too far away, aren't they? I don't think it doesn't get, I know it increases a little bit, but, well, in the 24th, fixed artillery range is 6. Yeah, nah, no way. That's not happening. So, yeah, so they'll still get that as a chip pull though. I just won't. They won't get artillery though. Okay, so now we've got the reinforced battle and the sport card box, and that is going to be used. So. Let's double check again. It needs to be in the same army, doesn't it? Now here's the thing. What about these OKW units regarding this then? When attacking, this is reinforced battle. When attacking, unit is eligible to reinforce if in the same army as at least one attacking unit. Oh, or already adjacent. Oh well, we don't need to worry about that. But saying that, if they weren't adjacent, are they considered? Well, when I replied to John Brown there, I said maybe I should spend a bit more time looking into the rule book when I start scratching my head about things, but you know what, I'll have a quick look. Well, it was just a quick look, but I don't really see anything that mentions anything, so if any of you do know that one, like I say, they're adjacent to the defending unit anyway, so they do count, but if they weren't, would they be able to be classed as being in the 6th Panzer Army, in that army? Because that is a requirement of joining the battle with a reinforced battle. Okay, so it says if more than once, like I say, if any of you know the answer to that, let me know. If more than one stat can reach the combat, choose a stat that will not be attacking across the river. Neither of them are. Then the stat that will cause an unsurrounded defender to become surrounded. He's surrounded then, and then a stat with the lowest numbered unit. Okay, so this guy's already involved. So that's a 2. You know what? It could end up being that, I think. Because, oh, there's a 1 in there. Alright, okay. Well, there you go. It's going to be that then. Oh dear, that's even worse. Right, so it's this stat is going to reinforce. Because if there'd only been 2 in there as the low selector number, then as we already now know, OKW is the highest core number, so this guy would have been a 2 as well, and he's lower than that, so it would have been him that reinforced. However, like we've just realised they've got a 1, so they're attacking, and these guys are attacking as well. And this isn't good. Right, what do we have? That's only 7, isn't it? Yeah. And this is another 12. So 19 to 6. So 3 to 1 odds. 19 to 6, 3 to 1. And chip pools are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. 1 for elites, 6. 2 combat tactics is 8. So 3 to 1 odds, 8 chip pools. I don't like this. Because I think all they need is D2. Yeah. And here's me wanting to try and get these guys out next turn, but well, to be honest, I could have tried at that last impulse, couldn't I? And I got all excited with the third core guys and try to think about the third army card and right, well, we can play combat tactics. There is that. Yeah, I'm just trying to think here. I mean, I want combat tactics with D minuses, and playing any cards, it's really just terrain chits, I think. And terrain chits, what else do you get it for? I'm trying to think. I suppose Defender Elite, I think that gives 1. Defender Adjacent, I think also, but he doesn't count because that guy's in low supply. What I'm saying is none of these combat tactics I've got air power, artillery. I mean, I've got 2 army cards I could use for any combat tactic. I've got tank battalion. I mean, even picking any combat tactic, none of them, I don't think, would give a D minus, I don't think. So just looking at screen could take 2 chip pools away from them, but that would have to be an army card to use for that. I'm not going to do that. I don't think I'm going to play in them. I mean, I've got my core artillery. No, I'm not. I'm not. I think they're doomed, really. Okay, I'm just going to go with it. So 3 to 1 odds, 8 chip pools, let's get them. Well, would you look at that? Almost started singing about the teddy bear's picnic. If you go down to the woods today, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 woods chits given -1s. Wow. That's kind of incredible. And I was annoyed that, I mean, I got this one first, and I was annoyed about this. Oh, Defender Adjacent again, but I'm not benefiting from it. And then it just went perfectly. What was the large attack? This had air power in the back of it, which, although I was saying, you know, it's not a D minus one, it would have took that D1 away, you know. However, the result we've got, what is it? D2, but it's D minus 4, isn't it? So, and they're actually taking a hit, aren't they? Yeah, I'll just double check the numbers. Yeah, 1 hit to them. We ended with D minus 2 with that. That's some nice chip pool drawing. Pinkies must have been drawing them out of there. So these cards are going away. And, well, yeah, they've got to take a hit. So how does that come about again? Okay, there's no 4-step units, was there? No, there's not. So it's a 2-step unit, but it's the unit in the hex with the most steps. And remember, I think Martin kind of put me straight on this one, that you should actually count the units that weren't involved that are still in the hex. It doesn't really say, it just says the amount of steps in the hex. And I think I've always thought, well, you're not including this guy because he's not being involved in the attack, but I get the feeling it's going to be the same anyway. So there's 6 steps in this hex, and I think they're all 2 steps, aren't they? 6 steps in each hex. So that's the same. So then we select the highest selector number, yeah. So we've got 1, 2 and 8, and 2 and 7 in there, so it's going to be 8. Let's go down the bottom. Oh, 8 step loss. And what do you know, we get the chance, we may well get the chance to have a go at that attack after all. Who would have thought that, I've kind of given up hope there. Right, going to clear things up there, and I think I'm going to have to, well, I'm going to have to go away for now. I might sneak back later on. It's not terribly late at night just yet, so I might get back for another Allied Impulse just to see maybe if we can get these second armoured units out of there. But I still need to have a look about just to make sure that's exactly what I want to do. Like, I think it's probably about the you know, at least give them a chance, you know. Okay, I'll tidy things up and I'll be back with an Allied Impulse soon, guys. Okay, cheers. Hi all. Right, I did get back tonight. I think I'm just buzzing after that last German attempt to take out the second armour of the 7th Corps. Yeah, I want to see if they can bash their way out themselves. So I think we're going to go for this. It's risky, but if they're going to sit there, you know, I think they've got to make a move. They're just going to sit there and get trapped, I think. Okay, so yeah, like I say, I did have I've got the primary card and the supplemental card. That one has artillery as its combat tactic. The other one has reinforced battle. Also, the replacement points is 2 on the primary card and it's 3 on the supplemental. So just in case it comes down to me actually playing a card for replacement points. It might happen. You never know. I find it so hard because there's just so much more things that you need to do and want to do, and you just don't feel like you've got the time to sort of say, oh, I'll just play that card and put another couple of points back. But, right, anyway, let's do this. So, I don't think there's going to be much more than this attack though. However, we do have the 2 units there. I didn't really think about them. There's 2 of them there, isn't there? One's an armoured unit. So we've got the 2 there. That's just the 1 there. But that and these 2 are going to make an attack on this. It's only 2 strength. It is 2 steps. It is elite armour. But we've got combined arms. It's just armour. It's going to draw a combat tactic, but it can't get a defender because it's surrounded. So that is right, isn't it? Yeah, at first I was going to come back and say, no, that's not right, Grant, because 12.22 says in step 3 of an allied attack, draw 1 German card from the German draw pile if at least 1 unit in the defending stack is in supply. Yeah, which, no, I'm talking nonsense. It's not in supply. I'm just talking nonsense. Anyway, it says if the formation of the car matches that of any defending units are in reserve supply. So it's a bit confusing that. I suppose because it talks about the defending stack, if at least one unit in the defending stack is in supply, if the formation of the car matches that of any of the defending units and the defending units are in reserve supply. Why does it mention supply and then reserve supply? Oh, you know what, I don't know. I'm not going to go into that now. Why it states supply and then it states reserve supply. Well, it doesn't matter, because I don't think that unit can't trace supply. Never mind. It certainly can't trace reserve supply because it's surrounded, and it can't trace supply. No, because of the whole. That I'm lying. It can. 1, 2, 3. Is that right? It can trace through its own units. 1, 2, 3 on the road and then that bridge across. So I actually can. Right, I'm going to have to read that again then. Right, it's sinking in now. Sorry, it is one of the later night episodes, which I didn't think I was going to do. I sat for a little while thinking, should I put this on and try this? But I think it was just the boost that we got from that unit surviving that attack and getting the chance to maybe fight himself out as well, which would be good. You would only draw the card if one of the units in the defence is in supply. It's not tracing supply, if it's in supply, yeah. So that unit is in supply. So then once you draw the card, if the formation of the card matches that of the any defending unit, so if we draw the card and it happens to be a first SS unit, we would then think, okay, can we go further with this? But then it says, and the defending units are in reserve supply and possess fewer than 4 steps. Check for undetected German defender, and that's where it stopped. And I think that's what I knew right away. I says, right, we can't check for that because he's surrounded. So we can draw a card because he's not in low supply, out of supply, or any state like that. But he can't get an undetected defender because that can't trace reserve supply. Right, okay. Okay, so how did I get there? Right, we were making the attack. Well, we're not making the attack, we were looking at it. What am I looking at? Oh dear, right. Okay, I just noticed something here. This bracketed unit, although it's not going to add a combat tactic, could go 1, 2, and then 3 into there, because this German unit is a bracketed unit. Oh, I'm lying again, I don't know. Because he can't go into there. He's in a zone of control. 1, 2 is going to be in a zone of control. I'm looking at this. So he can't get around, can he? 1, 2, oh yeah. Yeah, I probably should have just watched some television, I think. I'm just making a mess of this. Okay, I've just noticed that we're activating these units as a detachment adjacent, so that should come away. Yeah. Yeah, so the 2 units up here can't really, there's no real point. Well, this guy can't move. All he could do is try and consider an attack, but I think that's silly. I think he's just walked in there. There's not an awful lot we can do about that. This guy, there's no real point moving him back. He's better staying where he is, I think. And obviously these are the stuff that are going to attack here. And then, yeah, looking at this, I mean, I've got 6 to 2. I've got 3 to 1 odds on that guy, but I'd be getting 2 chip pools. And he's got an IP, so I don't see the point in that one, unless I was to chuck a couple of combat tactics in, but even then. And I did think, well, what about moving back? And I thought, well, he's infantry, it's 1-2 to move into their breaking zone of control, but this guy's armour, but as soon as we move into here, we've got to stop because of the detachment there. So it doesn't look like these guys, I mean, unless I'm going to bring them down. Sorry, hang on. Unless I want to bring them down this way, but I don't really. I think I want to try and keep the 7 core units up there. And then again, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not anything. I don't think there's anything great I can do with them, to be honest. Yeah, I think maybe just keeping them there is a good idea. It's quite a good bit. There's a couple of bridges here. It's in a town, also in the forest. Ooh, in actual fact, just realised there's not a German unit across this bridge, so when these guys activate, I think we take that bridge back. That's right, isn't it? I mean, it's all in German zone of control, but I think it needs to be a unit across there. If there's not a unit there, then we get the bridge. I'm pretty sure that's right. Change of control. The bridge changes ownership. 1 when a non-owning unit crosses the bridge, or 2 when a non-owning unit begins its activation in a hex bordering the bridge and no owning unit occupies the hex across the bridge. So yeah, that is right. There's no German unit in there. We've activated. We take that bridge. So that's us got the 3 bridges there in that town in the forest. So that's quite a solid place to be, isn't it? I can't think of anything clever to do with them anyway, so yeah, I think it's just all about this attack, really. So I'm going to go for this 2 1-step combined arms units, and he's going to lose his IP. It's just 1 unit. That's just the army objective marker underneath. So we've got. Oh yeah, that was the bit I noticed it earlier as well, and I kept saying it was 9 against 2, and I was getting 41 odds, and it's not because he's coming across the river. I had noticed it a while back, and then must have forgot about it again. So it's only 7 against 2, so it is only 3 to 1 odds. 3 to 1, 4 to 1. Can we increase that? I mean, we do have that tank battalion. That's the 5 core card that's been in our hand for the start, I think, or almost the start of the day, waiting to deploy the 5th armoured units. Sorry, that's this card here. But it has tank battalion on it, but my intention was to deploy the 5th armour units a long time ago, but just don't seem to get the chance. Well, if I added, was that going to make the difference? 3, 6, 7. It actually would, wouldn't it? I don't think I'm going to do that, though. No. I'm going to take my chance with the odds, I think, because I do want to keep that card for that. So, okay, so we've only got 3 to 1 odds. But we are going to play one card at least. Right, and then chip pools are 1, 2, 3, 1 for elites, 4. So sitting at 4 chip pools with 3 to 1 odds. So we yeah, we could definitely do with at least one more chip pool. And I think, well, the idea was to play the core artillery, wasn't it? Because it is going to still shuffle in. There's one card left on our draw pile. So let's do that. It gives us 5 chip pools. And then the other thought was a no command card for air power. It's pretty tempting. Yeah, you know what? I think this is quite important. So I'm going to go for this. I'm going to play the air power as well. Yes, there's probably still a couple of combats to come this day. I've got the 21st Army Group card and the 3rd Army card. But remember, they give you a bonus combat tactic with each combat when you use them. And yes, I suppose chucking an air power in would be nice as well, but I think this could be important. I think if we can budge that guy, because even if we retreat him once, that's golden for us. Like, we retreat him once, he retreats into here, and we can advance and then get ourselves into a much better position. Like, able to trade supply and just get us out of that hole that we're in there just now. And you know, don't think we should give up on the 7th Corps. There's quite a big corps. They actually do still get, I mean, okay, it's a couple of days away, not tomorrow, the 26th, they get another infantry division, 3 units, so yeah. Okay, I'm going to go with that then. Okay, so we get to now draw a German combat tactic. He's surrounded, so I always like to see a reinforced battle at this moment. Or we've been quite lucky drawing infantry infiltration and assault coordination, so any one of the 3 will do right now. Right, so let's draw a card. Like I say, he's not going to be able to get an undetected defender, so that's good. Okay, here we are. Combat engineers. Yeah, that's kind of bad. Is that another division card with a 24 that I see? Not done very well with them today, have we? Okay, so they're playing combat engineers on the defense. That doesn't. Oh, it gives them an IP, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, that is annoying, isn't it? Place an IP marker on defending units. Do not place a defending a town or city or IP marker already present. Or if attacker played engineers, which we didn't. Yeah, and he's in. Oh, well, actually, that was another good reason for the attack. He's in a clear hex, but that combat tactic has helped him. Because now we need 1 extra hit to. I mean, the first hit's going to just remove that, so we need a bit more, I think. Okay. So I'll just move them and put the chit somewhere. So what we got a minimum of 2, haven't we? Maximum of 6, 3 to 1. We've got artillery and air power, haven't we? Yes. Okay, so we want to see some of them. Right, here we go. Let's get the 2 anyway. Well, okay, not ideal start. I mean, we do have a D1 on them, but an A1, well, we can't take too many of them. The infantry unit is a two-stepper though, so we could take the hit on that. Be nicer to get rid of that though. Okay, I think we've got to go for the 6, haven't we? We need some of these air power artillery. So, okay, I'll get the other 4. Oh. Well, I've seen that less than 4-1. Man, I thought our odds were going to be 4-1. No, this is horrible because I'm taking 3 hits. I mean the D hits are good. Oh, right. Let's just work out the numbers. Well, one of the numbers is really good and the other number is really bad. Because the other thing is, I could take a hit on the infantry and then disperse, which means that I don't get out of the hole that I'm in. Right, well, the good thing is we get to see what's happening to the defender first, the German first, right? So, the first hit is going to take off the IP. That's 3. So, which is kind of unfortunate because, yeah, if he didn't have the IP, he was toast. But I think he's surviving, isn't he now? Yeah, because he's got 3 retreat, and then stat loss. Okay, so he's got 3 hits to take, so he does have to retreat. He's got to retreat into a non-zone of control hex. He can't do that. Second option is into a friendly unit, a friendly supplied unit. So he's got 2 choices there. I think that is. Oh no, it's a forest. It's got a road, isn't it? Yeah, so that is legal, and right, both the hexes are legal. So if a choice of more than one hex, avoid a hex in the forward direction, then avoid a hex adjacent to a forward direction. So where is he? Right, that's not a forward direction, but you know what? That hex is adjacent to a forward direction, isn't it? Yeah, because forward direction is there, that's adjacent to it. So his first hit, is retreating into that bracketed unit. So that takes him down to 2. So now he's got to retreat again. I'm pretty sure this, well, he could retreat into here. Is this hex stacked? I don't think it is it? Hang on, no, that's 3 steps. 4. No, he can actually. He could actually retreat into there. Adjacent to a forward direction. Well, that would be adjacent to a secondary forward arrow, so he would choose this hex instead. So that soaks up that second hat, and he survives. That was annoying. That combat engineers. I mean, I didn't get a great result. Hits to myself, but if I took that unit out, it would have felt sort of good. So he takes the hat, but he's a way out of trouble now. He is dispersed, but like I say, the fact that he's a way out of any danger. I mean, yes, we pushed him back, but so, and that takes his last step loss. Right, now what we're going to do. No air power or artillery there, so a complete waste. I think that's one of these things that make this game so good, though. I think I mean, there's me pouring a couple of cards, and I mean, it lets me draw more chits, but so it gives me a better chance of drawing the artillery and the air power. But sometimes that happens, you don't see them. It's all odds chits really. Even this flying attack on the. Oh no, it's not. It's not the one that's got. Anyway, they're all odds chits apart from that one. Well, apart from the one with discarded, I can't remember what that was. Okay, what we're going to do? 3 hits to take. Well, if we don't disperse, no, I think we have to, don't we? I think we have to. Yeah, it's just a horrible result. So we either, if we don't disperse, we have to take a step loss here, and then both these guys die. That's what it boils down to. So I've got no choice, because I have to take step loss there, and then a step loss on that unit, and then a step loss on the other unit, and they're both dead. So yeah, I have no option. Well, I have an option, but it's not an option I'm going to take. So he takes a step loss, and then we can soak up the other 2 hits. We have to take the first hit as a step loss, and then we soak up the other 2 hits by dispersing all the attacking units, all the units that attacked within the combat. So that is him. And our 2 armoured units here. I mean, yes, we got rid of that guy, and there is a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, sort of, if you like. Yeah. Okay. So that's the hits done. I'll clear up the chits. Now our core artillery is going to shuffle into that last card, but we're going to draw it back up again. But I'll clear up the cards, shuffle the core artillery in, and we'll look at finishing up the impulse. Okay, there's things tied up. Right, we do get to build an IP up here, which is quite good, really. I mean, that's yeah, it's handy to have. He's in the city, so he can't build, and the guys are in a town. So, and this guy's dispersed, but here's the light at the end of the tunnel, if you like. The last part of the activation is I can remove disperse markers. Now, I can't remove them because they just gained in this turn, but this one had it before, as we started the turn. So double check that is a 7 core unit. Yeah, it's a cavalry unit. So there is that, I suppose. I mean, the other thing is I still do have a 7 core card. Can you replace points on dispersed units? Oh well, I actually think you can. I think it's supply. I don't think I could repair this guy, for instance, because he's on low supply. However, I might need to be able to trace supply to get the replacement point. But he can, can't he? Or can't he? Oh, I don't think he can he? I was thinking that he could trace supply, but he can trace in here, but he can't get in here because of this guy. Okay, that white at the end of the tunnel is just faded. Right, anyway. Well, we'll look into what's going to happen next. It wasn't good. I suppose it wasn't terrible. We're not that guy back. I suppose. Yeah. Okay. Right. That took a while. I think that's just because my head's not quite clear at the minute. But right, we've got 4 cards. So we're going to draw the last 2 cards. One of them obviously is the core artillery again, and it's another no command. So another air power event. Okay. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's not awful, I suppose. Right, so that's my hand now. I've got 6 cards in my hand, none in my draw pile. The Germans still have, they don't, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They've only got 9 cards left, so I think we've balanced things quite well. And we've got the 2 army cards, 21st Army Group card and 3rd Army card. So, right, I'll tidy things up, and it's unlikely I'm going to start a German impulse. What I might do is I might actually turn the cards over and have a look, and then if it looks like it's going to be too much, then maybe just cut it there. So I'll see though, but I'll cut the video here just now, just in case that doesn't happen. Okay, cheers.